Hey, this is Mad Movie Mark with the Mad Movie Mark Movie Review. Thank you for joining me as I review the 2017 romance comedy signature move.
Maybe that should be enough for today, Mom. Why don't we do something else? Let's go for a walk.
Hey, that's not fair. You just got here. Why not stay for a minute? This is going to be a pretty good review. Now, I thought Signature Move was a decent movie. I didn't think it was a great movie by any stretch of the imagination. The acting is okay. The writing is sometimes sloppy. And there's one character in this movie, her name is Zaynab. She's like the main character, where I just don't think she makes educated decisions sometimes. I don't think she makes decisions that a normal adult would make. And I think it really kind of brings down the movie. So Zaynab is a lawyer who moonlights as someone who is being trained to be an amateur wrestler. She lives with her mom. Her mom's elderly, but even though she's elderly, she's still sharp as a tack. She just has old world views where she thinks that in order for her daughter to be happy, she needs to be married. She needs to be like barefoot and pregnant, and she needs to be like loyal to her husband. Now, she obviously doesn't know that her daughter is a lesbian. Zaynab has kept this from her mom because she's afraid of how she would take it, given that she does have old world Pakistani views. Now, her mom pretty much does two things all day. She watches TV and she looks out the window to see if there's any strapping young suitors for her daughter right outside her door, so she can just run out there and pick them up and get the two married off. Now, Zaynab, when she's not lawyering and when she's not wrestling, she hangs out at this bar where she meets a girl named Alma, who is Mexican. Now, what a coincidence! Alma's mother was also a amateur wrestler, but so they have that in common. That kind of brings them together a little bit, but that's not anything that I would think would happen in real life. Also, Rotten Tomatoes, I have a bone to pick with you. Your description of the movie says that Zaynab falls in love with an amateur wrestler, but she is not a wrestler. Her mother was an amateur wrestler, so your description of this movie is wrong. Anyway, so Alma and Zaynab, they fall for each other. They start having this whirlwind relationship, but Alma is very much into letting people know that she's in this relationship. She tries to do PDA. She tries to, really act like this is something that she wants. Whereas Zaynab is not that way at all. She does not like PDA. She does not want anyone to see really that she is with another woman. She definitely does not want her mom to know that she's with a woman. And this causes friction and tension between the two because Alma basically says like, I want to be with you and I want people to know that we're together. I realize your mom has like these old world views, but this is something that you're going to have to tell her if we're going to be together. So Zaynab invites her over to her house to meet her mother, but does not tell her mother that they're in a relationship. So it's a very awkward meeting where her mother thinks that they're just friends, and she asks if there's any suitors out there that Alma knows for her daughter. And this, of course, upsets Alma because, she has to hear from basically her girlfriend's mom that her girlfriend's looking for a husband when she's actually not, because Zaynab refuses to explain this to her mother. Now, so watching this, I've seen these type of movies before where, a Pakistani mother or a mother from India, or really a mother from any other culture, does not accept their daughter for who they are, for being lesbian, or they have these like pie in the sky dreams that their kids will never achieve because it's not what they want as a child. So I get it, but I don't know. I also really feel like her mother doesn't entertain the idea in her head that her daughter's lesbian because she just has no proof that it's true, and she has no reason to think it's true. So she's going on her life believing that her daughter is straight, and she's trying to get her married off, even though that's not what her daughter wants. Instead of asking her daughter what she wants, she's trying to create this life for her daughter that her daughter does not want, that Zaynab does not want. But I don't know. I got the feeling, and then at the end of the movie, I think this feeling is given some credence that if she just told her mother the truth and told her mother how she was, that her mother has an open enough mind to like trust her and to be fine with her being a lesbian. I think by the end of the movie, her mother does figure it out, but that's the problem with the end of the movie is that, so at the end of the movie, Zaynab, the one who's training her to be a wrestler, she is not able to wrestle in this big match that she has. So she asks Zaynab to do it. Now, Zaynab says, okay, sure, I'll do it. You think I'll win? And her coach says, absolutely not. You're not going to win. You're going to get creamed out there, but I need you to fight. So they go to this fight, and Zaynab's mother ends up figuring out that she has this wrestling match. She had just learned earlier in the movie that her daughter even wrestles, that she has this wrestling match. So she goes there to see her, and she meets Alma there. And I think she kind of gets the feeling, she gets the inkling that they are in a relationship together. Now, at one point when Zaynab is wrestling, Alma says, "Don't worry, it's all fake. Don't worry about it." And then someone tells her, "No, it's not fake. This is real. She's getting pummeled out there." So, is amateur wrestling more real than WWE wrestling? Because I know in WWE wrestling, it's still possible to get injured because you are actually doing crazy stunts and you're working with people, other wrestlers who might not be as seasoned and not as good as doing moves safely, and there is a possibility that you can get injured. But it seemed like in this movie they weren't acting at all that it was only people were only going to get injured in this match. But anyway, she does the match. At the end of the movie, her mom seems like she's more open-minded about things, and as her mom's walking away with her back towards her, Zaynab kisses Alma, and you're like, okay, so now maybe things are going to change. But her mom never saw it happen, so she never actually tells her mom for sure that she is with another woman. It's kind of left up in the air. You're supposed to assume at the end of the movie that her mom knows, because her mom doesn't outright tell you either. The movie doesn't outright tell you. You're just supposed to assume that either she knows or she doesn't know, depending on what you want the ending to be, which is really annoying. But that's basically how the movie ends. Now, like I said, the acting was okay, but nothing spectacular. I thought the one who played Zaynab was better than the one who played Alma. But either way, the girl who played Zaynab's mom, I thought was the best out of all the actors in this movie. I thought that Zaynab, she had so many chances to tell her mom the truth, and she just doesn't do it. And I really felt like if this was someone in real life, they would have just done it. I realized the cultural differences. I realize she comes from that old school frame of thought, but I really felt like she was going to do it, or she should have done it, especially when Alma was ready to break up with her for not telling her mom. And she comes back, she goes to the bar, and she gives this big speech about how she doesn't have to tell her mom if she doesn't want to, and that Alma just has to accept that. And I thought the speech that she gave was really dumb and really stupid, because Alma doesn't have to accept anything. If Alma doesn't want to move forward with a relationship with a woman who doesn't want to tell her friends and her parents about the relationship, then she can do that. She doesn't have to take Zaynab back because she gave this big speech about how she doesn't have to do whatever she doesn't want to do, how she doesn't feel comfortable about telling her mom because of cultural differences. I just thought it was really dumb, and it really it was really trying to make Alma seem stupid if she took Zaynab back, and she ends up doing that in the end of the movie. But it really just, I don't know, it hit me the wrong way, because I thought Alma was correct. I thought she was the one in the right. She took on this relationship with Zaynab thinking that they were both in it, they were both committed to it. And when she realized that maybe Zaynab wasn't as committed to it, she got out of it. And I thought that was what you were supposed to do. I never for one minute sided with what Zaynab was doing. I thought that she should tell her mom. I thought that she should come forward and that she should tell the truth. But, for some reason, the speech that she gives, it makes it seem like Alma's wrong. And I'm like, what is this? This is dumb. Why is she giving this stupid speech in a bar when she's the one in the wrong? It was really dumb. It was really bad. At least in my opinion, it was a stupid speech. Aside from that, the movie it's very predictable, where once you realize there's this problem where she's not telling her mom that she's a lesbian, you kind of maybe get the inkling that there's going to be some hostility between each other, that they're going to split up, and at the end of the movie they're going to get back together, because that's that's the cookie cutter rom-com plot, is that two people fall in love, something happens to where they end up splitting up. They go their separate ways. And at the end of the movie, a major event happens where they get back together and everything's fine. It's a cookie cutter rom-com. There's nothing really new done here, except maybe exploring the Pakistani, like being Pakistani and being lesbian. I don't know if that's been explored in other movies or not, at least no movies that I've seen before. And then the Pakistani female with the Mexican female. So you have different traditions, different cultures blending together. There's even a scene in the movie when Alma is at Zaynab's mother's house, and they're first watching the Mexican Pakistan, or not the Mexican, the Pakistani soap operas, and then Alma's like, well, we have like Tel Aviv or something, Nouveau or something. I don't remember what it's called. In Mexico, it's like a Spanish soap opera, so she turns it over there, and then the Zaynab's mother acts like she knows what's going on screen because she's reading the emotions of the actors and not necessarily what they're saying. So it's a nice blend of different cultures. I'm not sure if that's been done before in this type of movie. Maybe that's why the critics gave it 100%, because it's treading on new ground. But I didn't think it was very good. I thought it was a very hum-ho, like nothing spectacular movie. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I hope you join me next time when I review Bad Genius. Thank you. Have a great day.